everyone, I'm Aveline. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having an amazing day. So we're doing a build today as we usually do here on the channel, but before we get started, I quickly wanted to say thank you to Project Makeover for sponsoring today's video. You can download the game for free by clicking on the link at the top of the description box right now, but in case you don't know what it is, let me just tell you guys a little bit about it. So Project Makeover is a mobile game in which people hire you to give them makeovers so they can achieve their dreams. And the makeovers aren't just done on the people, you also have to help them make their businesses, for example, cuter by changing their windows and also the doors, wall colors, flooring, furniture, and more. But it's not that simple because before you can do makeovers, you first need money. And to get money in Project Makeover, you have to do different match 3 puzzles that are both challenging but also super fun. They come with different obstacles and rules and shapes, so there's always something new with the puzzles. And of course, there's always drama in Project Makeover, so there's always someone new to help. But it's not just other people that you get to dress up though and do makeovers for, because you also have to create your own character, your own avatar, and you can always go back and update it so you can make sure to keep your outfit trendy and build your wardrobe as well. I've been playing it throughout the past couple of years and it's actually super fun, so if you're looking for a game that is both cute, where you get to play with clothes and interior, but also a little bit challenging because of the match 3 puzzles, I would definitely recommend you check it out. You can download it by scanning the QR code, which I've placed somewhere on the screen, or if you prefer, you can also download it through the link at the top of the description box. But thank you to Project Makeover for sponsoring today's video. Most importantly though, thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I appreciate you all so much. Now let's get started with today's build. So today I have another family home in San Sequoia for you. This one is built on a 50 by 40. So that means I am missing the 50 by 40, the other one now, which is where the kind of like the house that's been renovated throughout the years, you know, that lot, that's where that house is. So this is the other one. There was a blue house, a big blue house on this lot, so I've rebuilt it. You got yourself a new house, you're welcome. Anyway, but I'm still missing the 50 by 40. I am missing the rental as well, and then the 40 by 20. The 40 by 20 lot is so funny. I used that lot for showing off the kits in Thursday's video, and it's the first time I've been on that lot, and it's so funny. Like, it's just, there's like road almost all the way around it, and it's so wide but so thin. I don't know what to do with it. I'm gonna have to figure it out. But anyway, maybe we'll do like opposite tiny houses, opposite family tiny houses. So they're not super tiny, but, and then they have to share a garden, because I actually don't think that the lot is wide enough for 2 gardens if I have to make 2 small family homes on the lot. I don't know. Let me know what you think of that idea though. I'll try to give it a shot maybe sometime during next week. I don't know. I think I need a little bit of inspiration for the, like, I need to do a little bit of research, as I like to call it. And that means going on Google and also Pinterest for the other 50 by 40, but hopefully I can have it up next week. I kind of, as you might have noticed, am building a lot of houses in San Sequoia because I'm really stubborn right now, and I really want to finish all the lots before I move on to doing other things. Because usually I'll say like, I'm redoing the whole world. When I say the, like, just the world, the new map. Okay, just to be clear. And then before we do anything else, and then I do like 5 houses and I get sidetracked by one of the other worlds, and suddenly I forget the project. So I've been very tunnel visioning on San Sequoia for the past couple of weeks, just building houses here. So today we're building this one. This is for actually up to 9 Sims. This is a bit of a funny family combination. But before I start talking about that, I also am actually currently building on another house, which is going to be on the same lot as my modern farmhouse was, the first build that I built with Growing Together. So if you prefer like all the houses having this like craftsman kind of look, because that one looked a little bit different, I'm building another one instead. So just so you know, I don't know. If you wanna fill out the entire world with my houses, I don't see why you would want to do that, but if you do, you know, if you're the one rare person out there who does that, I got you covered. So anyway, but yeah, so that's hopefully coming tomorrow. I'm currently building it, so we'll see if I manage to finish it in time. I'm a little bit late today as well. I've been hanging out with my sister and my mom and my niece, who is almost 7 months. I know, she's growing so fast. She's so cute. She's so tiny. And she jumps a lot, but like she can't stand on her feet. So you gotta have to like hold her in the air and she just like kicks and stuff. I don't do that, but like you place her on your lap and she'll try to stand on her feet and then she starts jumping as if she can actually jump. She's very cute. But anyway, been hanging out with them, so the video today is a little bit late with the voiceover and stuff because I didn't have time to do it yesterday as I was hanging out with them yesterday as well, so just in case you're wondering. I never get questions why I release videos when I do, but I like to explain it anyway because that's just how I work as a person. So there you go. But today's build, this one is for 4 generations. So I asked on the Discord server, by the way, if you want to join that, there's a link to it in the description box. But I asked if I were to do a house that had room for 4 generations, how would I put it together? And a couple of different suggestions were mentioned or were written there, but the one that I ended up going with is that we have, so there are 3 adult bedrooms basically, so 3 bedrooms that look a little bit more mature and have double beds. So my idea was that we have an elder living here, we have an adult, we have a young adult, at least one, could also be a couple, yes, and then we have a teen, a child, and a tiny human, a toddler. So I think, did I place down for a pet as well? I cannot, I think I did. I think I placed down stuff for a dog, because in my head, I was like, I figured that we had the grandparent whose partner has probably passed away from age or something like that. And then we have the adult who is the grandparents, you know, it's the mom or dad or whatever of the young adult, and the young adult is the parent to the children in the house. Am I confusing you? Because I'm confusing myself. Like, I don't know. I feel like I lost myself in that description or in that explanation. What it means essentially is that the children in this house get to live with their great-grandparent, but just one of them, because we don't have room for both, okay? Just so you know. And they also get to live with their grandparent, but possibly just one of them, or both of them. But at least there could only be 4 adults total in this house, unless you take out the dog stuff. But I feel like if there are 5 adults in this house, it's a lot of adults and not a whole lot of kids. Just want to say. So, but this was the best balance that I could do with the adults, the amount of adults in the house, and also with the kids as well. So this is what I decided to go for. I kind of imagine that there's some kind of tragic story with the adult sim, so the grandparent to the kids. I don't know what happened to their partner, but they could have also just gotten divorced and didn't want to live alone or something and asked like, hey, if my mom or whatever is living with you already, can I move in as well? Like, if great grandma is already living with you, do you have room for me too? You know, like, I don't know. I wouldn't personally like this sort of living arrangement, but I am not sitting here speaking for everyone else. This might be for someone out there, you know? This might actually work for some families. I also know that in countries like Italy, they live together. Maybe not in houses like this, but I can only speak from where I've visited and stuff because I have Italian families. So, like, I've seen a couple of, like, apartment buildings where they have, like, so many rooms and they live with their grandma. The one that I'm thinking of, they had their grandma living there and they had like a lot of children. I think there was an aunt living there as well. Like they had a lot. It's kind of fascinating how it is from country to country. So I know that it does work like this in some countries, but just, you know, it's just not something that I'm used to. So I'd personally not want to, but that's just, I'm setting my boundaries, okay? But I know that it's like this in some countries and with certain families and stuff. So for those families, I got a house for you. I hope you like it. But yeah, and then, you know, Like I said, the adult probably has some kind of like tragic backstory. I don't know what it is. If you are inspired to leave some kind of story in the comment section, feel free to. But I haven't really like got into their history as much, so I can't tell you. Not for this house. I think mostly when I was decorating this house, I was very focused on trying to fit everything into the house because I was really like, I really want this to be for 4 generations, and I also wanted the adult sim and also the elder sims. I wanted their bedrooms to be very personal. So they look a little bit different compared to the rest of the house as well. Like the rest of the house kind of has a flow, at least like the common areas on the ground floor and also the parents' bedroom, so the young adults' bedrooms, or bedroom, they only have one. Of course, the children upstairs, they get to, you know, add their own personal touch to their interior, but as for the rest, it kind of has like a nice cohesive flow to it. So I was very concentrated on trying to make that work, and also trying to do everything quickly because it is a 50 by 40 and I didn't want to split it up into 2 videos. So I gotta take that into consideration as well when I build lots that are this big. Luckily, the house itself is actually not like, it's not massive on the lot. Like I don't think it would fit on a 40 by 30, even if you took away the path and the path right to the house, or to the right of the house. That was weirdly phrased. And also the landscaping, I actually don't think, I think it's still too wide to place on a 40 by 30, but it's not massive on the lot. It definitely, there's a lot of breathing space around the house as well, so that helps as well when it comes to the time limit. But it's like one of those things that you might not necessarily think about when you watch the video, but it's something that is constantly in the back of your mind when you're decorating or building. Like, how long is this video going to turn out? Like, how many hours have I sat here by now, and how long is the footage going to be when it's sped up? I'll admit, I felt a little bit like when I placed all the footage down and sped it up to my editing speed in my editing program. It was like 38 minutes or something, and I panicked just a little bit. Just like a tiny bit, because I don't want a video that's 38 minutes long. That's like very long, she says, but she watches like on the regular, could easily watch videos that are like 1.5 hours long, but like then they're also about something and not just me sitting here talking about stuff, you know? So this is too meta. I need to move on. Like, this is weird. But yeah, so I'm happy that I managed to cut it down just a little bit. So anyway, but I was very focused on trying to make the two other, the grandparent and the the grandparent and the great-grandparent. Jeez, that's really difficult for me to say for some reason. I really wanted to make sure that their bedrooms kind of had their nice little, like their own little touch to them. So hopefully you can see that once we get to their bedrooms. But honestly, I've been decorating so much like throughout this house that I don't know. I feel like it worked, but I also think you can tell who's who, but we'll see. We'll see. Also desperately tried to add like some fun touches to the interior, just added some color as well, tried, but then I didn't like that blue. It's like, it's too saturated. I like the chair, but some of the color choices for that chair are a little bit too bright for my taste, for my liking. It's kind of funny because if you look at the wallpapers for the exterior of the house that came with Growing Together, they're not like super bright, maybe with the exception of the red one. That one, you can barely see the lines in the wood siding with my reshade on, which is kind of funny. But it's so bright that it basically washes them out. I don't know. But other than that, they're not like super bright. So why would some of the furniture pieces be like, even the couch, actually the one that I'm using today, that one is also not, the colors on that one are not super bright. So what's with the chair? Why is the chair so bright, so saturated? I don't know, but it's a nice chair. I like it. I like it a lot. So, but I definitely saw the blue and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to make it work, but then it was a little bit too much. So I ended up changing it in a little bit. I also forgot to say, but in the living room, over in the corner, in the right corner of the living room, yes, that was very well explained. But anyway, as you could probably tell, I really had to sneeze. I had to suppress that so badly. But the corner with the rocking chair in it, I actually took out two of the windows. I can't remember exactly what windows I'm using for this. Oh, it might be the new ones. So I took out one of the windows and then I placed down a sliding door instead so you can actually get to a patio that I add later on. But I don't think I recorded it, so you might get a little bit confused at some point. It's because I forgot to add a door in this room. Or no, I didn't forget. I just felt like it didn't work here. And then I didn't really know where else to place one, but they needed a door to the backyard so they don't have to walk out the front door. Also, fire emergency, it's just nice to have more than one door when you live in a house this big. So I decided to just basically place it in the living room, so it's over in the corner, but there's like a curtain hanging in front of it, and it still works though, so that's just in case you were curious or whatever. But that's where it is. So you might get confused, or you might have if I hadn't told you that. Hopefully you won't get confused now that you have an explanation for how the heck do they get to the patio, but it's through the living room. I also desperately tried to, so 7 chairs here, by the way. If you play with high chairs, just take one of them out and then place a high chair there instead. I just personally do not like the high chairs, so because they're super annoying for gameplay, unless they've been fixed. I think I talked about this in the last voiceover, but it's been a while since I've played the game, and the last time I did, the high chairs were basically cursed. So I tend to not really use them much when I decorate, but if you are one of those people who've gotten, the English is going well. I've been speaking Danish all day, so like, brain is confused. But anyway, if you're one of the persons who've gotten the high chair to work, feel free to take out one of the other dining chairs and just add one instead, but I personally just don't like them. But the dining table should have room for all the Sims, and then I know that some people prefer when the dining room is like separate from the kitchen. I personally don't really care. Like sometimes I like the look of it, but it also feels very luxurious to have a dining room on its own. She says, living in like I grew up in a super old house. You know, one of those houses that's basically like a square and the floor plan is basically a plus size, a plus sign inside the square. Like that was our floor plan essentially. And then with like the hallway space and also a bathroom added as like an extension sort of the square on the right side of the house. But the floor plan was still basically a plus sign all the way through the basement, which was like a half basement, the ground floor, and also the first floor. So we had a dining room. The house was not luxurious in any way whatsoever. It was pretty much falling apart, infested by spiders, and all of that, you know? Walls are cracking, needed new roofing. I really like my childhood home, except from the spiders. I could have lived without them, just want to say. But I also think it's funny to like remind myself of like, I don't know, nostalgia, you know, nostalgia. So we had a dining room, but I feel like in houses like this that are a little bit newer and stuff, it's like, first of all, I also like very open floor plans. I am very much a sucker for kitchen, living room, and dining room being in the same kind of space. I don't know, I feel like it just adds a whole, like, everyone's in the same room if they're not in their own bedroom, and it's just, there's a different, like, sense of togetherness in it. But for houses like this, it doesn't really work. At least my brain is like, the house would come crashing down if I kept an open floor plan on the bottom floor, because it's too big for that. So, you know, but at least in the kitchen dining room, I could keep that open. So I decided to do that. It's funny how that works. Like, I know that in The Sims, it doesn't make any difference how many walls are on the ground floor, or for those of you who call it the first floor, there you go. It doesn't matter in The Sims because it just does not make a difference, but my head is still like, support beams, otherwise the house is gonna fall apart. It's gonna come crashing down. It's weird. I don't know. It just feels unrealistic for some reason to have it all open on the ground floor. I suppose you could do like I did with the archway leading to the living room. It was, it's not a door, so it still feels open to the hallway. but you could still kind of do that sort of thing with like, so you still have the walls, but they're just not going from one side of the room to the other. There's kind of like a gap in the middle. I suppose you could still do that. I don't fully know. I'm not an architect. I'm not an engineer. Is that what it's called? Engineer. You know, one of those people, one of those smart people who know numbers and stuff. I'm not one of those who knows exactly how much this certain kind of material weighs. I don't know that. I have no knowledge whatsoever. I'm very unknowledgeable, but yes. So this is the, I almost said the grandparents' room, but no, this is the great-grandparents' room. So I'm kind of imagining it to be a woman just because I don't want to use statistics. Yes, without, you know, statistics. Okay, good. We're on the same page. I'm happy that we're on the same page so I don't have to explain it in detail, but I'm kind of imagining it to be, it's the first time I get to use the teeth. I get to use the teeth and I'm so excited. Sorry, I just remembered. I was having a moment when I placed down those teeth because they've not fit into any of my houses before, not until now. So I was very happy. At least I don't think I've used them before. Like, I'm pretty sure, 99.5% sure that I've not used those teeth before. I also imagined the painting or the pictures above the bed to be pictures that the great-grandparent have taken throughout the years when they've gone on travels and stuff. Some of them probably with their partner back in the day, even though they look way too new, but you know, modern cameras, they're probably a thing and have been a thing for a long time in The Sims, so it's all good. So I kind of imagine them to be like their own personal photographs, and then they also photographs, and then they also have portraits or frames for more pictures on one of the walls. They just really like memorabilia, this great-grandparent. So I didn't have a lot of room for like clutter though in there. Not a whole lot of surfaces, but I try to make it very great-grandparent-y. And I hope I managed, but anyway. So this is for the adults, no, the young adults, so the parents. And I'm still imagining them to be both the parents here still. I don't think there's been an instance, an occurrence, a tragedy, or a divorce, which some people would also call a tragedy, but I'm a child of divorce, so I'm desensitized to it, I would say. But anyway, I don't suppose, or I don't think I think they're still here, both of them, and I think they're both living in the house, and they still share a bedroom and everything. So, yes, and that's why this room is supposed to be in line with the rest of the house a little bit better. I'll admit, like, when I got to the backyard or some room on the second floor, it kind of hit me like, what style am I actually going for for this house? Because I felt like once I'd done the grandparent and also the great-grandparents' rooms, I got a little bit style confused, like just like a tiny bit, because those rooms were very different from both the kitchen, dining room, and also the living room, so I don't fully know. Like, I don't fully know what style we're going for in the house. It's probably just eclectic, you know, like it's a mix of different things. But the parents' bedroom is definitely a little bit on the sleeker, modern side. I don't actually know what kind of style that new bed is, but I like it. It's, I don't know, it's like, it's funny. That's the best word I can use. I don't know, I like it, but it's kind of like, what direction is that going in? Like, I don't fully know. So this is the teens' bedroom, and for this one, I definitely tried to go for like a pastel kind of gamer vibe. I don't think I've used that bed before, but I might have. It kind of reminds me of Animal Crossing, and I can't really explain why, but it does. So that's why I'm like gamer, pastel gamer. You know, we have to do it. There's literally nothing about this, like I have no, maybe it's the patterns or something that you can use in the customization thingy. I cannot remember what that's called either. I have not played Animal Crossing for the longest time. I think I played it when it came out, and then I played it for like a couple of hours several months after. I was on that for such a long time. Sorry if I just nudged the microphone, but I was on that game for the longest time just when it came out. For like a month, I basically played it almost nonstop, and then I just stopped. I just quit it. I don't know. And then I went back on there after like several updates and just played it once, and then I was like, no, I'm not doing this. And I stopped again. I don't, anyway, anybody has the same kind of experience? Like, it was fun and chill and stuff, right? When, you know, the start of the situation, you know? Yeah, wink, wink. Okay, good. Glad you got it. But then it just kind of like, I got over it pretty quickly. I don't know. Didn't they also say that they weren't going to add more updates to the game quite recently as well, I think? Which, does that mean they're developing the next one, or does that just mean that they've moved the workforces to another project or something? Like, I don't know. There's a lot of things I don't know in today's voiceover, apparently, because I keep saying it, so bear with me. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry that I'm so unknowledgeable. That's not a word, but I'm gonna stick to it. Or maybe it is a word and I just don't know it. You know, that's weird. But anyway, so yes, the pastel gamer room. So they have a little bit of, you know, like a gamer vibe, and then some clutter and stuff. I actually like how their room turned out. It's just, the shape of the room is a little bit funky. I would say that it's actually not the same for the toddler room. The toddler room, I didn't realize, like, this is the build when I realized that, of course, you still change diapers. On toddlers in The Sims, of course you do that. I actually had to go check the changing table and be like, do toddlers still wear diapers? I don't know anything. It's fine. It's fine. This is stuff that I personally do not need to know. So we're good. But yes, they do. So there's a changing table in there. I now have to remember to put changing tables in rooms or in houses that can house toddlers, and I hope that I can remember. Does that mean all my houses in the past with tiny human bedrooms are outdated? Oh gosh, that's horrific. I feel sad now, especially those tiny houses that do not have room for any of the changing tables. I feel so sad now. Dang it. Does that mean as soon as you potty train them, they don't need to change you don't need to change their diapers anymore? Does that make sense? I feel like I'm onto something here. Someone out there who's a parent is just like shaking their head at me right now. I'm right there with you, so go ahead. Continue doing what you're doing. You're doing great. Anyway, but yes, so that was the whole thing. I'm glad I realized that. Otherwise, have I done a house already with the tiny human in it in Growing Together? Will I have to go back and add a changing table? Has someone already yelled at me in the comments? I do read the comments, just want to say. I'm sometimes a couple of days late reading them, but I do read them. So I might have missed it if someone's yelled at me about it. And if they don't need the changing tables and I just misread, then ignore the past like 3 minutes, okay? Just ignore that whole rant. But this room, this is for the toddler, so I wanted it to style-wise fit a little bit better with the rest of the house. Still obsessed with that eco lifestyle bed, by the way. I think we need more with these, like, this, I almost called it a roof on the bed, but I can't. Canopy? Is that what it's called? Canopy bed? I get English lessons every single voiceover. Sometimes it annoys me, sometimes I'm like, yeah, whatever. You know? But it's fine. But I think it's called I don't know. I'm moving on. We need more of those beds though, because they're adorable. And I want one that looks like a princess bed and one that looks like a castle. I don't know how that's gonna work, but I want it in The Sims. Just a castle bed. Just make it work. But also, just in general, I think we need more toddler beds. I think we got one with the infant update, but it's like super basic. It even says in the description or something that it's super basic because it's called like something very IKEA-ish or something. I cannot remember, but it's very basic. So, and it also does not have a lot of swatches. We need more. Toddler beds, still not covered. I think this might be the only one of the bathrooms that I'm actually decorating in this video, but the bathrooms on the second floor, there's 3 of them, and the only one that's not accessible through a bedroom is the one that is mainly for the toddler. So in that one, there is a potty, and the other 2 are kind of decorated in, so the tile in the floor and like the items themselves, such as the sink and also the toilet and the shower stall, they're still basic throughout, like they're the same ones throughout the entire house, but then when it comes like the accessories, the clutter, and also the towels and bathrobes and stuff, I have made sure, sorry, my voice is being weird today, but I've made sure that they kind of fit with the color scheme for the room that it's connected to. Does that make sense? Yes. So they're kind of customized or personalized in that way, but they all kind of look the same still. They're cohesive with the kind of furniture that's in there, but we get this like colorway touch to the rooms. Yes. I was going to say that you can see them in the floor plan pictures at the end of the video, but the problem is that the floor plan pictures are so small, or the pictures are the same size as they usually are, but the house itself, the floor plan in those pictures is actually quite small, so you might not actually be able to see the details, but that's all I got for you, so just take my word on it, okay? But yeah, I don't know, I felt like that made sense. I felt like that was realistic instead of adding like a mint or pink colored toilet to the teens bathroom. I just went with the same furniture as the other ones, or the same items, but then added clutter that would fit with the teen. So yeah, that's kind of just what I decided to do. Other than that, the backyard here is actually pretty simple. So they end up with the patio where I put a lounge area. So I think those are just, actually no, I used the Seasons couch and chairs today. I don't think I usually use those for outdoors use, simply because they are partially made of wood, and the thought of wooden items standing outside in the rain kind of makes me hurt. So, but I'm gonna ignore it for this house, and now that you know, or now that I've reminded you, you're also gonna hurt. Yeah, I'm glad I could share this experience with you all. But anyway, and then I decided to place down the tree house because it's a 50 by 40. I had space to do with what I wanted, or space to do, but I'm not rephrasing that, you know what I mean. So I decided to place down the treehouse, so they have that. It's super cute. I haven't actually seen it done yet, but I like the idea of it, if that makes sense. And then they have a grill area, of course, because families deserve grill areas. That's just how it works. They have a pool as well with some lounge chairs, or whatever those are called, the ones that they can sunbeds, I don't tan. I don't know what those are called. I don't care. And then also a gardening area, because I kind of figured that like the great-grandparent and the grandparent would kind of like bond over gardening or something. I don't know. I just felt like it was cute. So I feel like that's what they do. They're probably both retired and they just kind of like, can they both be retired? Yeah, they can. I just had to do the math. Okay, anyway. According to Danish retirement rules, at least, they could technically. Yeah, they could. Yeah. So I think they're both retired and they just kind of bond over that, and probably taking care of the dog too, who I actually don't know what kind of breed it is, but I think it's a small dog, because I think that's the size bed that I added. So they just take care of the house together, garden, and take care of the dog. And then they love the children, of course, you know? Yeah. So that's the house I got for you guys today. I hope you guys like it. If you do, you can download it off the gallery. My ID is AvelineYT, and you can also find it under the hashtag Aveline or AvelineYT. And as always, the trade files can be found over my Patreon, which will be linked to in the description box down below. And other than that, I have a booktube channel. You can find a link to that somewhere if you want to check it out. I don't know where the link is today, but it's somewhere. Somewhere in the description box, possibly. Thank you again so much to Project Makeover for sponsoring today's video. And that is all I got. So I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe and all that good stuff if you did. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.
Spring is in the air, like a drum snare. Buds are bursting, beautiful green. It's like a love scene with waves of flirting. Seasons change us. Maybe it's just me and mine, where thunder has had its way, when kindness is portrayed as blind and glitter to the rays. no playing.